All right, let's do another little dive into multi-level marketing. There is a group out there called Optavia right now. It is a weight loss multi-level marketing opportunity. And one of the amazing things about it is it really works well to get weight off quickly. Now the issue with that is there have been studies that show very rapid weight loss is not very conducive to keeping the weight off over a long period of time. The way Optavia couches it is that, you know, if you deal with their fuelings and they have 3 separate programs and you can transition from one to the other, and the last one is sort of a maintenance program, so once you get on that you can maintain your weight. Now the downside is it's extreme restrictive eating, and one of the problems with extreme restrictive eating is that your body goes into starvation mode. It really, when you're eating 800, 1,000 calories a day, your body thinks, I'm gonna die. And people feel sick when they do that. Not everybody, but some people feel sick when they do that. What your body ends up doing then, though, is your metabolism drops because it is thinking, I need to conserve as much energy as I can. I need to store the energy, any energy I get, any excess, because if I don't store it, I may expire. So it's a twofold problem, because one, your body is now, your metabolism slowed down, so you're not going to, you know, when you're just hanging out, when you sleep, even when you're awake during the day, you have a basal metabolic rate, which your body just needs energy to run. And so all throughout the day it's using energy, and it's a different number for every person, so it's not a one fixed number. It's a different number for every person. It depends on your age, your weight, your activity level. The activity is not basal metabolic rate, because activity is active metabolic rate. So, but how much you exercise plays into your total metabolism. When you're in starvation mode, it can be very difficult to exercise because your body is trying to conserve, and actually one of the things they say on the extreme weight loss side of Optavia is that you can do light exercise, but don't exercise hard, because you need to adjust to your new calorie intake, which is true. But the reason it's true is because you're almost, you're on the borderline of being sick, of being very unhealthy. So it's not the quick fixes are almost always not very good for you. So your basal metabolic rate lowers because your body's in starvation mode. Now, once you get out of the plan, get onto other parts of the plan, the problem, I think, if you're on the plan, you're fine. Now, it's not a cheap plan. It's 400 something, 300 to 400, 500 a month to eat the foods they tell you to eat. They say they want you to eat, in the extreme weight loss, they want you to eat 6 meals a day, and it's 5 of their meal replacements. Each one of those meal replacements is like a bar or a few noodles, and it ends up being, they're all about 100 calories, 110, somewhere in there. And then you eat one actual meal that you have to prepare, so that's another cost. You have to buy the food for that. So that is, it's supposed to be lean and green, so you get like 6 ounces of a lean protein, some green, specific greens, and you can add a little bit of fat to it. But you're, even with that, that's gonna maybe be 300 or 400 calories. So you're at, well, 5, so that's 8 on the low end and 9 or 10 on the high end for the calorie intake. Now, a baby, like a 2-year-old, requires something like 1,500 calories. So you're eating less than a 2-year-old requires. And I might be off on the numbers, but the idea is that you're eating less than a small child requires. And that, you'll lose weight doing that. If you don't eat, you're going to lose weight. It can make you feel sick. Some people don't. The fuelings themselves are very processed. They can make you feel okay. Sometimes people like the taste. Sometimes people, there are whole sections of the website that tell you how to modify them so they taste better. Some people like the taste. That's, I don't, whatever. It's no big deal. The big problem for me is, one, what they should be doing, and they have a little questionnaire they go through before you start, and if you check a box, they say you should talk to your doctor. If you're going to do an 800 calorie a day diet, don't check a box. Talk to your doctor. Period. You should always talk to your doctor if you're going to do something like that. It's silly to think, it's silly for someone to think they know better and can tell you how to do it. The problem with any of these online diets, it's a diet, or things, is that you end up, if you go to a dietitian who are, they're registered, they actually go to school to learn how to give people good advice. They're going to give you something that is tailored to you, and it's going to be different for everybody. Some people on Optavia do great. They feel great, they look great, they drop the weight, they can actually kind of wean off the system and keep that weight off. But it seems that overall, people, within 6 years have gained most of, if not all of, the weight back. And it won't be everybody. Some people won't do that, but some people will. So the diet itself is, in my opinion, problematic. It's it's very harsh, and it is not tailored to each individual. It's sort of quasi-tailored, and you're told to see a doctor, to check with a doctor if you meet certain conditions. It should be, everybody should see a doctor, and the program really should be tailored specifically for every person. It should depend on the weight going in, how much weight you want to lose, all sorts of different things. But that's not the way it works. It works the other way. Now, so that's a problem I have with the diet itself. But the big problem I have, is with the business model, because it's a multi-level marketing model. So when you get in, you will see, a post from somebody you know online, and they have a before and after picture, or they have a picture of them holding a bunch of candy or something to make them look, they're showing off how much weight they've lost on this crash diet. It's okay, but that's the way Optavia markets itself. You won't see the name Optavia. They will say, I'm on this great program, and there's a whole reason for why they do that. I think it's for a couple reasons. I think one, they're trying to draw you in and come and ask questions, because if they get you to come in and ask questions, then you'll be more likely to be interested in it. If they just start talking to you, you're going to shut them down. You're going to, tune it out. So they want you to be the one interested. What are you doing? Oh my God, you look great. That sort of thing. They're preying on really women. It's women that have are most self-conscious about their bodies, and they're exploiting that, and then giving them this diet program that, don't get me wrong, I would say, if not 95%, at least close to that, of the people that actually go on the program and follow it for even a couple weeks are going to lose weight, because you're not eating. So then you get to the business part of it. You don't make any, when you buy the plan, you don't make any money. The person that you buy it from makes money. It's not, so once you start getting friends, because they ask you to post pictures and do all that, once you start doing that, there's an online community that is supportive, that's not bad, but the community encourages this free marketing for the company, which doesn't mention the company. And when people get interested and start asking you about it and want to sign up and try it, they will sign up through your upline, and your upline may at some point say, well, these people are going to join anyway, why don't we just sign them up under you? Now, once they sign up under you, you get a commission off of what they buy. The problem with that isn't incentivizing you selling product. It's incentivizing you selling an opportunity, because the more people you get in, if you take one of the people you get in and encourage them to add people under them, you get actually more commission. So the commission keeps growing the more downline you get. And you can be the most altruistic person in the world and want to help all the people. And I don't doubt that there are a lot of people in that maybe even stay that way the whole time, but definitely start out that way. But if you start getting a good downline at all and you start earning money, tell me that you're not going to switch over at some point to making money rather than helping people, or at least shifting your focus from helping people to making money. At some point, a lot of people will switch that way. And there are some people that are narcissistic and they'll start out going in. They might go in thinking it's a good money-making opportunity. And problem with that is, like, 90% of the people make under $10,000. I think that was the number. So 10% are making more, and it's like 2% are making over 100,000. So yeah, sure. Is there a chance to get up there? Yes. I think the average for that was you had to be in 7 years to get to that level. But the compensation plan is all levels. It's preying on people's hopes and dreams and their fears. And one of the big issues with having such a restrictive diet and focusing so much on image is that's actually the beginning of eating disorder. And yeah, people can dabble into an eating disorder and come out on the other side just fine. People can dabble into an eating disorder and fall head over heels and get totally sucked in. Part of the insidiousness of this type of program is that because of the quick weight loss and the likelihood of yo-yoing back when you come off the program, what's going to happen? You put the weight back on, your metabolism is lower, you might even put a little more on. Now you think, oh crap, I better do the program again. So now you're sucked back into buying another $500 a month for whatever, couple months. And it's kind of a never-ending cycle. That's what the company is banking on. They're banking that you're going to fall in and get sucked in. And it's my other opinion, it hasn't happened to anybody I know yet, but my other opinion, and I'm not in it, I've never been in it, I know some people in it. But the other thing is, if you are on the other end of that spectrum and you succeed, what do you think they're going to want to do with you? They're going to want to turn you into a coach. They're going to want to pump you up and get you excited about the business opportunity so that you can sell more people that will either turn into coaches or will yo-yo and stay in the program forever. So it's a never-ending cycle. It's sort of it's preying on people, even if that's not your intent. Great, you're altruistic. Your upline is altruistic. Maybe your downline is even that way. Chances are, if it gets big enough, up or down, someone in that line is going to be more about making money than helping people. And even if none of your line is, there are tons of other lines, and there are whole lines that are about making money. And that is what really drives this to a dangerous place, because if you're altruistic and you see somebody doing the program and you notice that you're their coach, you notice that they're not doing well, they're struggling, they're whatever, they're starting to yo-yo, they're complaining about finances, they look like they're feeling sick. If you're their coach and you really care for them, you can counsel them, well, maybe we should step back. I wish the company would tell you to say that sort of stuff, but I think someone with a real heart is going to be able to do that on the program if they're coaching someone else. But someone that's interested in the business, if someone has trouble and drops out, the whole point is just get another person, dump them and find someone new, someone that'll be more successful. If you're in, you got to look at it, and is there anything in it that says, well, if you're not being successful, you're not trying hard enough, or you're not doing it right. If that is a saying in the program, you got to watch out, because that can be extremely dangerous. That you're shaming someone for not following the program, and it might not be the program. They might not be a good fit for the program. The program might not be a good fit for them. It might be way too little calories for them. maybe they're actually starving themselves and they're starting to lose muscle. You can't just blindly go into these things and expect everything to be hunky-dory just because someone else said so. So it's the problem I have with Optavia. There's also, I worry, I'm not a lawyer, but I worry the company they're not covering your liability. They're not paying insurance for you. You're an independent contractor. So say someone in your downline gets sick because of a crash diet, loses some hair, or gets gallstones, or loses their gallbladder. Those are all things that can happen when you're on an extremely restrictive diet. Even if they can't, they still might sue you if you're their coach for giving them bad information. Now, maybe it'll go to court and you'll win, but you're going to have to foot the bill. I don't think the company is going to support you. They're not going to pay for anything. And if they have done a poor job in instructing you in what to say, then you might end up getting crushed because you have broken the law by saying something that's illegal. If you make a medical claim in any form, you can get in trouble. And if someone sues you after doing that, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Not a whole lot the company can do about it. They're going to cut you off. They're going to say you're kicked out of the program and you broke the law. And you'll eat the cost of the lawsuit. I hope your friends never do that to you. But what would happen, even if they don't sue you, what happens to a friend of yours if that friend of yours in your downline does get sick and thinks you sort of talked them into it? Now, hopefully you don't lose a friend. What if you get a person in your downline and you make mention that you're making a little bit of money on it, and they think, oh, that's a good money making opportunity, and start trying to make money and fail? Like 26% of the people in the program make $0. And the earnings reports, which they're online, you can find them at the Optavia site, do not account for what you have to spend, in travel or phone calls or mailings or any of that stuff. It doesn't account for any of your costs. So if you make $1,000 a month, you might spend $1,000 a month in costs just to build a downline, because you're not getting paid for anything you buy. You're only getting paid for what your downline buys. You might spend $1,000 in supporting them. You might spend $1,000 in the books and the training. You might spend $1,000 in the books and the training, and then you're buying your product so that you can stay in shape. Maybe you're now on the 3-3 program. It's 3-3. I think it's 3-3. So you're eating 3 of their 100-calorie meal replacements and 3 lean and green meals. And so you're calorie-wise, you're closer, 3, 6, 9. So you're 1,200, 13, 14, 1,500, 12 to 1,500. That's still a restricted calorie diet, but you're at least not at 800. So none of the diets, none of the plans they have are sustainable over the long haul. One thing that they are, part of the other insidiousness of the whole thing, is they're extremely easy. It's push button. I need a diet, push a button, now you get the fuelings for a month. Great. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to put things together. You don't have to build. You still have to make a meal. And they have recipes that you can get for that. But the business model is a killer. The business model hurts people. And the business model has potential to hurt people mentally, physically, many different ways. Now, if you think about it, when I think about it, I can step back and say, I'm not a fan of multi-level marketing. I think it's a scam. But there's some value they're putting into this. I don't like the diet, but let's pretend the diet's great. I'll pretend the diet is fine. What are they giving me if they have a diet that works and a business plan that doesn't? What else are they giving me? How about they're giving me ease. They're giving me something I can just order a bunch of food and it's sent to me, and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to work. The cool thing is, you can go online. Now, this is work, but you can go online and find replacements. They're actually websites. I don't know if they're in the Optavia forums, but there are websites that people that are on Optavia or have been on it have put up that show equivalent snacks. They're snacks. They're not meals. 100 calories is not a meal. It's a snack. But there are equivalent snacks that you can find. And you can go to Target and get most of them. Protein powder, whey powder. I think they use a lot of edamame, whatever that is, whatever that kind of powder is. Whey powder typically has a little better nutritional value, but either is fine. You can get those big canisters of that, and that's what their shakes are for the most part. So you can get it way cheaper than theirs are about $3 a shake. You can get it for about $1 a shake if you buy a big jug. Atkins bars. A lot of Atkins bars are about 100 calories and pretty much the same nutritional value. Those you can get at Target. So that works well. Now if you were listening to me, you're thinking, well, the great thing was I could just push a button and get it all mailed to me. And I understand when you say that. You're like, why would I not just push the button? Think about it this way, though. This should be a light bulb moment. They're offering it as a push button with a bad business model, in my opinion. Why couldn't someone that, if they wanted to do both the business and the self-help part, why couldn't someone go out, put together a box, and offer it for sale? Anybody could do that. Put together a box. Hey, hire someone to go to Target and give them a list of stuff to get. Get this stuff, put it in a box. Set up a website. Push button. Start an LLC. I would suggest that. You can go. That protects you and your money. But then you're selling direct. You're not relying on someone else to build your profits and adding more people below that to build more. You can sell it for way less because you don't have. Part of the problem with multi-level marketing is they tout it as network marketing, and it's all about kind of word of mouth and selling in your network. The problem is the whole thing is the whole thing is marketing. The whole plan is marketing. Every level that you can get into is extra marketing. And they're paying for that marketing. The reason it's so expensive is because they mark it up to pay for all the marketing that you're doing. And then they charge you for it. And they charge the people below you for it. And when they charge the people below you for it, you get a cut. And the people above you get a cut, a little bigger cut. The people above them get an even bigger cut. So that's why they're so expensive, not because they're the better products, they're not, because they are charging you for all that marketing down the line. And I would be very shocked if a multi-level marketing company, I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess that if a multi-level marketing company ends up doing very well, very quickly, their products, in most companies, if you start selling a lot of product and you're doing really well, that means you can produce more and you get an economy of scale and you can actually sell it cheaper. My bet, if we looked into it, and I haven't, so I don't know this for a fact, but I would be very doubtful that it doesn't work this way. I think that if they start exploding and doing very well, their prices go up because now they have more people in the pipeline and they have more marketing that they have to pay for. All those people are have to be paid. So their marketing strategy is to give you a cut of everything sold. And the only way they can do that on multiple levels, multi-level marketing, is by having a higher price. So if they build a downline very quickly, they're going to have to raise the prices to cover that because they're not going to want to eat the marketing cost. They are not in this. They're really not in this to make you feel better, to make you healthier. They're in it to make money. That's the awful truth. So, but it would be very, very easy. It really doesn't take a lot of extra thought to come up with a plan that would be direct selling, putting together a box of whatever, and maybe it is just Atkins stuff and some whey protein and some recipes in a box and a little Facebook group, and you sell that direct to the customer. I would suggest if you do that, you want to make sure you have a doctor, have everybody that joins talk to their doctor. You can give them the plan and they talk to their doctor first, and maybe go to a nutritionist first and see if you can get build a basic plan that's safer than the Optavia plan. But to me, that screams I should do it. So if you don't, I might. But I think that has a ton of potential. And you really could engage people with it as well. You don't have to build multiple downlines. Build one large network of people that are going to help you sell it. You could even do the same, before and after pics, because those work as a marketing tool. They get people interested, but you wouldn't be then relying on half of the people at least either yo-yoing or selling the business model, because your business model is just a traditional model. If you want to be altruistic, put all your money back into the company. Don't take any salary. If you want to make some money, take some salary. I think you'd make some. So I hope someone takes this to heart, and I hope by the time I'm headed down into Texas right now, by the time I get back up in about a month, that someone's already started this. It's just the way my mind works when I get into these sort of situations. So Hope everybody has a great day. Bye.